Welcome to your mindful lying yoga practice. As we practice yoga, we'll take the same mentality of mindfulness as we do when we are practicing our sitting practice. So that means we're aware moment to moment, not striving to get anywhere, just allowing ourselves to be and explore the process of moving with full mindfulness, letting go of any judgment of ourselves, and really exploring our limits, but not necessarily pushing beyond them. Instead, we play around our boundaries of movement and give breath to where we find those boundaries. If you find yourself in a position of pain, take a breath, relax, pause, and bring attention back to the simple in and out breath or the feeling of your body on the mat. And these postures will also be posted in a document form so you can have some visuals of them. You can hang them in your office and take them with you where you go. So let's take a moment just to breathe a few long, deep breaths, allowing the belly to expand on an inhale and deflate on an exhale. Taking a moment just to be here. Nowhere to go, nothing to do. Just shifting attention internally to the physical sensations of lying here. Perhaps even assuming an attitude of appreciation for this opportunity to mindfully explore movement in the whole body. And to begin, as we inhale, we'll lift the arms overhead and reach high above your head. Using an inhale, the arms lift. And exhale, we'll leave them there. One more inhale, and on an exhale, allow the arms to return back to the sides. A breath back here at center. And inhaling the arms up overhead once more. Exhaling when we land. Taking a breath. And one last time, mindfully inhaling the arms up overhead, pausing for a breath here. And exploring any sensations in the shoulders, upper back, head, neck. An inhale breath, and then an exhale breath brings your arms back down to your side. Remembering to move with intention, mostly focusing on your body versus my words. As you're ready, we'll bend the knees and place the feet right underneath of the knees on the yoga mat. And from here, press the low back into the ground, slightly lifting the tailbone, so we'll really round the back and press the low back into the ground. Again, moving at our edges and exploring the intensity at which we move. So this is our exhale position, and as we inhale, arch the back and create a bit of space underneath of the back between the small of the back and the mat. And in your own time, exploring a pelvic tilt under, rounding the low back, pressing the back into the mat. And inhaling, arching the low back as a bit of space is created between the small of the back and the mat. Continue on at your own pace here for a few breaths. Exhaling, curling under, and inhaling, arching back. Following your own breath and allowing yourself to prescribe your own intensity of movement today. Remembering the space of non-judgment if practice is different today. And after a few more breath cycles, we'll relax the legs back down into our corpse pose position. And taking a breath here. Remembering our mindful yoga practice is more about the mindfulness of movement than it is getting into any particular posture. Giving ourselves an opportunity to practice with mindful transitions. As you're ready, we'll bend the knees and hug the knees into a chest, into a nice little ball. We'll leave the head on the ground here to start, and if movement feels right to you now, either rocking side to side or up and down the spine just a bit, taking care if we're on a hard surface, minding our attitude of kindness towards our body. Perhaps exploring how an in-breath affects the belly as the belly presses up against the thighs, and how an out-breath affects the belly and thigh connection. Adding a bit of movement here, we'll take an inhale with the head down, and as we exhale, draw the nose into the knees. Good. Take a breath here, exploring any added tension in the jaw, neck, shoulders. Is it possible to let that go? As you exhale, gently releasing the head back down to the earth. We'll take a few more of these. Inhaling with the head down and exhaling, drawing the nose in towards the knees. Taking a breath here, exploring any added bits of attention or tension and releasing them gently. And then one more time, as you're ready, in your own time, inhaling with the head down, exhaling, drawing the nose towards the knees. And as you're ready, releasing head, neck, releasing legs. Good. Sometimes it's nice here just to press the heels into the ground and lift the hips up into the air for a breath. We'll do this again at another time. Might be nice to open the hips. And then as you're ready, extending both legs long to the floor. And taking a moment to notice breath while still, as opposed to breath during movement and any body sensations. If thoughts arise in the mind, simply note that you are thinking and return to the physical sensations lying here. As we're approaching the next breath cycle, In inhale, we stay, pausing, and exhale, we draw the right knee in towards the chest. Either clasping above or below the knee, whichever feels best for you today. A few breaths here, inhaling, space into the belly, space into the spine. Exhaling, maybe gently tugging the knee closer to the shoulder. Deciding how much effort should be placed today. Exploring your relationship to striving to be somewhere and simply resting where you are. In inhale breath, we stay. In exhale breath, one more time, we'll draw the nose in towards the knee. And hold here when we get there. Once again, noting any extra areas of unnecessary tension. And releasing as the exhale comes. One more breath with the knee hugged towards the chest. I like to add a cross stretch here. It's not in your file, but we'll take the knee across the body, extending the opposing arm to the opposite side. And if you'd like to explore movement in the neck, taking a look towards that open hand to the right. A few breaths here, exploring this position, this twisted position. On the next exhale, we'll draw the belly into the spine just a little bit before the knee moves back to center. Give one more hug when you get there. Yeah. Thank you, leg, and we'll release the leg back down to the earth. And once again, taking a moment to cultivate awareness during transition. Noting similarities or differences on the right side of the body and left side of the body. And then we'll proceed with the left leg. Inhaling, and then on an exhale, drawing the left leg in. A few breath cycles here, exploring inhale, creating space, and exhale, exploring the boundaries of this stretch. Noting sensations in the lower leg hip and the bent leg hip. Once the next exhale arrives for you, drawing the chin into the chest, the nose towards the knee. Holding here for a few breath cycles. Once again, taking note in the body of what needs to be working right now and what may be released. One more breath cycle, and as you're ready, on an exhale, allowing the head to rest back down to the earth. And then once more, on the exhale, and drawing the chin in towards the chest, the nose towards the knee. Moving beautifully with mindfulness. Relaxing into this moment. And once again, when the next exhale tells you, we'll release the back down to the mat. And in your time, take that cross stretch so the knee comes over the body. If you're in a tight space, mindful of your neighbor, but also a bit of touch is fine. Yeah, well. Taking a breath here, exploring how Breath moves in this position through the midsection, the chest, the shoulder, the back. And as the exhale arrives, pulling the belly in just a bit during this twist motion to return the knee back upright towards the ceiling. Giving one more hug. And as you're ready, letting the feet meet. And taking a breath here. And pausing to note a sense of balance and alignment. Or if anything feels off a bit, taking this opportunity to move with awareness, to move from action to inaction with awareness. And from here, we'll bend the knees again so that the knees are stacked right over top of the ankles, feet on the floor. And you can play around with the distance at which your heels are from your bottom. We'll take an inhale and lift the hips up towards the ceiling. Exhale, hold here. Taking a note of how the feet and toes and heels are all evenly pressing into the earth. No right or wrong, exploring the activation of the backside, the glutes, the hamstrings. Are they squeezing? Do they need to be squeezing? Holding here, we'll inhale the arms up over top of the head. Exhale, hold here when we get there and explore a few breaths in this active position. As your next exhale approaches, allowing the arms to press back down towards the sides. Inhale as the next exhale occurs, one vertebrae at a time. Really explore the subtle placement of each vertebrae down back to the yoga mat. I like to move between this posture and the next, which is really just allowing the knees to drop over to the right side. The arms can be spread to the side so you make room for your knees. They could also be interlocked. Your hands can be interlocked behind your head, exploring what fits for you today. A breath, allowing the body to release, exploring areas that are releasing. And on the next exhale, rising back up to center. An inhale, breath to reset. And as your exhale arrives, allowing the knees to fall to the other side. Either arms spread, clasped behind the back, whatever seems comfortable for you. If the hands on the belly help you explore movement in the belly, all is well. And once again, on the next exhale breath, allowing the knees to move back up to center. Exhaling when we get there. And then one more time, let's take this bridge. So it's an inhale, and on the exhale, pressing the heels down, the hips up. And as the next inhale arrives, sweeping the arms up and over top of head. A big, deep breath here, infusing your posture with breath. And as the next exhale comes, we'll integrate the movement, hands down and vertebrae one by one back down to the mat. Good. And perhaps exploring that twist one more time, maybe dropping the knees right and left, feeling free to explore this timing on your own mindfully. Maybe it's a little quicker, maybe it's a little slower. And as you're ready, returning to center with the knees still bent. And then as you reach the center, extending the right foot up towards the sky. Great. Interlocking the hands behind either the knee or the calf, wherever it seems best for you. Yes, Libby, let's do that. Let's roll the ankles. Maybe to the inside, to the outside a few times. Once again, exploring the edges of movement. And inhale, create space. And exhale, maybe we draw the leg towards the chest a bit more, or maybe this is enough where we're at. You might even explore the bottom leg. Does it need to bend more? Does it need to straighten more? And at the next exhale breath, once again, we'll draw the chin into the chest, the nose towards the knee, and hold once we arrive. For one breath cycle here. And as you're ready, releasing towards the ground. We can allow both legs to move back down to the earth, straighten both legs, and once again, notice any similarities and differences on the right and left side. Maybe even windshield wipering the toes a bit, exploring that movement in the hips. And then as you're ready, bending both knees once again. And then we'll work with the right side, extending the right leg up towards the sky, interlocking the hands at the right spot for you. An inhale breath and an exhale breath. And once again, exploring that motion in the ankle. If we did it on one side, we'll try it again here. Once again, noting any differences from the right and left side of the body. And then as you're ready, an inhale breath, and as the exhale breath meets your awareness, good, drawing the nose in towards the knee. Good awareness of what's working, what's overworking. And as the breath arrives for you to release back to the earth. And once again, allowing both legs to meet in your corpse pose. And from here, we'll just shift over to the right side, actually facing this direction. Good. And you can use your arm as a pillow here. We're going to do some side lying leg lifts. Either the knees can stay bent as they are, or you can explore with a bent bottom leg and a straight top leg. So as you inhale, just lift the top leg up. There you go. Good. And breathe nice and long, nice and deep here. Exploring once again what muscles are working in the hip to keep the leg lifted. And an exhale breath lowers the leg. Let's try this a few more times, moving in your own time. So let's do two more here. Inhaling lifts up, exhaling hold, inhaling stay, and then exhaling we'll move back down to earth. Great. And then then again, minding our transitions, we'll just roll straight over onto our belly. Maybe placing either the hands by the sides, or you can also stack the hands underneath of your forehead if that feels comfortable for you. Just noting how the floor feels against the front body and finding breath here too. And placing awareness in the left leg, we'll extend from the hip back to the back wall as the leg lifts off the floor. Keeping the legs as straight as we can, lifting as high as we can, keeping the hips grounded. Great. A breath. And as the exhale arrives, we'll release the leg to the floor. And once again, let's move the attention over to our other leg, our right leg, extending from the hip and back towards the back wall, then up towards the ceiling, keeping the hips grounded. Exploring a bit of breath here and our boundaries of movement. Great. A breath before releasing to earth. This can be repeated several times. I suggest you repeat this several times as low back strength is quite important. For the sake of today, we'll go ahead and roll over onto our other side, so facing away from us, and repeat that side lying. So the bottom leg bent helps with balance a bit. If you'd like to have it straight, that's possible too. As you're ready, we'll inhale the top leg up, exhale, hold it. Taking note of where the foot is in relation to the hip. Is it behind the body? Is it in front of the body? Is it straight under the body? Once again, no right or wrong, just noting. And one more breath here before we release down to earth. We'll take one set here before moving onto the belly and mindfully transitioning up to all fours, a tabletop position for a few cat-cows. Good. Placing the knees right under the hips, the hands right under the shoulders. We'll inhale, arch the head and tail up towards the sky. Good. So lifting the head, lifting the tail on the inhale. Libby. Exhaling, round, all good, all good. Rounding, good. There's our exhale, good. Our exhale draws the navel into the spine, and inhale in your own time. There you go. You know how to do a cat-cow. So follow your body more than my voice. Inhaling to arch, exhaling to round. Go ahead in your own time, exploring. Good. We'll take about 3 rounds of this and then land in a neutral position. Great. And then from here, we'll take one more of these spinal strengthening postures because they are so important. So we'll shift the weight over to our left leg. Extend the right leg back and behind you for a Superman. Good. Tending mindfully to the hips, both hip bones pointing towards the yoga mat. Sometimes the hips have a tendency to shift open. If somebody wants to actually demonstrate that, yeah, we'll curve that hip right back down. There you go. Good deal. Great. And then we'll release the knee back down and try again on the other side. So inhaling the leg lift, exhale, hold. Good. Working with intention, either flexing the toes towards the body or pointing the toes away from the body. A breath before releasing down. Shifting weight one more time. This time let's integrate the upper body. So as the right leg lifts, so too does the left arm. Inhaling, exhale, hold. Finding space all the way from the fingertips to the toes across the body. And just for funsies, let's exhale, bring the elbow in towards the knee. And inhale, open. One more time. Exhaling, squeeze in. And inhaling, open. And we'll pause here before releasing as you're ready. Good. Mindfully distributing weight, shifting to the other side. Inhaling. Good. Great. We'll hold for a breath. And as we meet the next exhale, elbow to knee. Good. As the next inhale arrives, reaching out. And again, follow your breath cycle here, maybe 2 more. And as you're ready, no rush, returning to position tabletop. As we are mindful with all of our transitions, if you need anything else in this position, please take it. And then as you're ready, taking care to notice how you turn back around onto your back, or taking a child's pose, as Becky is doing, is perfectly warranted. Good. Knees can be spread wide or knees can be close together. Just preparing for our final relaxation pose here. Once again, taking note of the difference between movement and stillness, and allowing yourself to be still. I suggest taking a few more moments here, but we'll end with a little poem by Mary Oliver. Bless the fingers, for they are as darting as fire. Bless the little hairs of the body, for they are softer than grass. Bless the hips, for they are cunning beyond all other machinery. Bless the mouth, for it is the describer. Bless the tongue, for it is the maker of words. Bless the eyes, for they are the gifts of the angels. They tell the truth. Bless the shoulders, for they are a strength and shelter. Bless the thumbs, for when working it has godly grip. Bless the feet, for their knuckles and their modesty. Bless the spine, for its whole story. Bless the spine for its whole story. Allow your story to release into the ground. And continue to lie. And thank you for your practice today.